Hey there, it's Mitzi. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm sharing another weekly reading update. So this past week has been a wonderful week of reading. I am participating in Historathon, Nonfiction November, as well as continuing with the More Montgomery Challenge. And before I forget, if you are participating in the More Montgomery Challenge, make sure that you use that hashtag More Montgomery Challenge, and tag me on Instagram or leave it in the comments, because each month Elizabeth and I are having a live stream where we have a drawing for who has been participating. And on December 4th at 4 p.m. we will have another live stream on my channel, and we will do the finale for the drawing for the More Montgomery Challenge. We're going to be doing several drawings. If you participate at all, you will automatically be put in the drawing. So make sure that you let me know in the comments, or again on my Instagram, or on one of Elizabeth's YouTube videos at Lizzie Faye Loves Books, and let us know that you've participated. Also, we will be drawing for anyone who blacks out the whole board, and then other people who do at least 3 of the prompts. So we're going to have several different drawings for that. So let me know and help me keep up with that, so that I can make sure that your name gets in the drawing. And then again, on December 4th at 4 p.m., we will have a drawing live, and we'll be discussing all things More Montgomery. So I hope that you will be there and participate in the More Montgomery Challenge. And again, we have this month, all of November, to do that. But I have been reading for that one. I picked up just a few more books for the More Montgomery Challenge. I don't know when it was that I showed the library book. It was a little picture book called Anne Arrives, and it's based on the Anne of Green Gables series. So I picked up the others because I think they're just precious. This one is called Anne's Tragical Tea Party, and it's where she has Diana come over, and they have the cordial. If you remember that chapter in Anne of Green Gables, and she has, that's where she gives Diana the cordial, and it's just a very funny chapter in Anne of Green Gables. So that's what this one is based on. And then we have Anne's School Days, and this is where Gilbert, she has the incident with Gilbert, and where she hits him with the slate. That's this one. There are some really beautiful pictures in this one because it's fall, and I just love these gorgeous pictures in this one. So this one was a lot of fun. And then Anne's Kindred Spirits, and this one is where she meets her bosom friend Diana. So they're all just precious, and I love the beautiful pictures in these books. So these were a lot of fun just to revisit Anne of Green Gables. And if you enjoy Anne of Green Gables, I'm sure that you would love those picture books. And then I read Among the Shadows by L.M. Montgomery. This was our group read for October. This is a collection of short stories, and it says Tales from the Darker Side. But what that means really is there's just darker themes in these. They're not as much the cozy reads that we're accustomed to when we think of Anne of Green Gables. However, some of them do have some great messages behind them and things like that. But I did enjoy this. When I first started it, I thought, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like this. The first few stories I really didn't like, but once I got into it, there were many of the stories that I did enjoy. Some of them are longer than others, but I found that the longer stories actually were even better to me. So I did enjoy this one, and I highly recommend trying out some of Montgomery's short story collections, because she has a load of those. She has lots of these little, you can find these all over the place. Lots of these little collections, and I think most of them have different themes to them. If you have read a short story collection by L.M. Montgomery and it's your favorite, let me know that, because I'm trying to pick up more of these. And then finally, I wanted to talk to you for a few minutes about the book that I just finished, and that is The Robe by Lloyd C. Douglas. This was for Historathon. I wanted to read this one more than any other book on my list. I was supposed to read Lost in Darkness first to build upon, but this was the priority, and so I thought, well, this will take me a long time to read. But I tell you, I couldn't put this down. I found myself not wanting to read anything else but this book because it was so good. This is about a Roman soldier and his slave. And there's this conflict between this Roman soldier and his superiors. And they kind of banish him away to lead this fort kind of thing in that's close to Jerusalem. So while he's there, he tries to, the fort's kind of not in good shape, and the leadership is just not there. And so when he gets there, he has a challenge to get these men to respect him. And so that's how the story begins. Well, while they're there, the Passover is happening in Jerusalem. And so they need extra soldiers in the area because so many people will be there. So this soldier and his slave, because it's so close to Jerusalem, are sent kind of to guard the area. Well, while they're there, it happens to be when Jesus comes. And so it starts off with Palm Sunday, where he walks through and they Hosanna, and they wave the palms, and they see Jesus for the first time, and they start hearing about this man called Jesus. Well, then he's crucified, and this Roman soldier happens to be one of them that is in charge of the crucifixion. So when they're casting lots for his robe, he wins the robe. And after that, it goes on from there where he is dealing with, he thinks that Jesus is innocent, that he didn't deserve to be crucified. And right after he's crucified, he puts on the robe because they're joking around. All the men have been drinking and they're joking around. Well, once he puts the robe on, he feels so bad about what's happened to Jesus that he about has a nervous breakdown, basically, is what's happening. So he decides to try to recover from this and figure out what's going on with him by going in search of this story of Jesus. And he kind of journeys where Jesus had been during his ministry. And so as he goes, he learns about the story of Jesus and the history behind Jesus. I really found it interesting because it's from a different perspective. You know, he is coming into Jerusalem. He doesn't know anything about this man. And as he's told these stories, you hear all the different perspectives of the people that were there during the time of Jesus. And one of them really stuck out for me. There was this one man who is a believer, and he is watching the door because after the resurrection, he has seen Jesus alive after the resurrection. And so now he's watching at the door as if Jesus is about to walk in. He's always expecting Jesus to come back. And I just thought that was so interesting of what it must have been like for these people during this time that changed history completely. So I found it to be a great read. The ending was fitting for this book. I found it to be, I don't really know how to describe the ending without saying too much, but I found it to be fitting for this book. I don't think he could have ended it any other way. And so I highly recommend The Robe by Lloyd C. Douglas. A couple of people have mentioned that there was a movie adaptation of this as well. This was written in the 1930s. I don't know if I said that, but it was written in the 1930s, and I was very impressed with the writing in this book. So I couldn't put it down. I found it to be a great read. So those are the things I've been reading this past week. I still have a couple of books that I've already started for Historathon and Nonfiction November. And of course, I will be doing more for the More Montgomery Challenge. So let me know what you're reading in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.